I never see that situation when I know people. So I was made from the cement. People see fella from the outside. I've stayed with him. My wife is a person that has these ideas of, okay, let's put money here. I have this knack for professional things. So most of what we teach has to fall in line with what global standards in business. One of the most important thing I think I took up growing up was the principle of contentment. For me, Ronaldo signifies what I call hard work. Now, people have a lot of wild read of perspective about me. I grew up in Joe, where gunshots were like doorbells. Growing up for me was very tough. My parents were in the kind of bread and butter family.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Entrepreneurs Connect show. And I'm sure you're noticing something different today. Yes, I have my branded shirts on right now. And going forward, this is how I'm going to be appearing. Thank you for sticking to the show. Today, we have a very special guest. People wonder how Joseph done every time we have a special guest. Yes, because the guests are always special. Yeah, so we have a very special guest in our midst today. And we're going to be talking about his entrepreneurial journey. How did it start? How is it going so far? What have the failures been? What have the challenges been? What are the lessons learned? What are the successes he has encountered so far? You know, this Entrepreneurs Connect show where we keep it real, discussing the stories of real African entrepreneurs, their challenges, their successes, their failures, and everything in between. On the show today, we have Mr. Richard Chile. Good afternoon, Abi. What's time of evening? Abi, afternoon, I don't know, but welcome on the show anyway. Welcome, boss. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on show. I mean, you're one of the people I am able to pull on very short notice. I appreciate that we don't have to spend so much time back and forth.
Anything for the connection.
Fixing the day. So thank you very much for being here. Okay, we have Mr. Richard Chile here, and we're going to be having an awesome conversation today. So just to jump right into it, I know you, but many of people here don't know you. So let us meet you. Who is Mr. Richard Chile?
Okay, would you want to know the Richard Chile from the business perspective or from the personal perspective?
All around, basically, because we're keeping it real here.
All right, my name is Richard Chile. I like to call myself a leader, entrepreneur, and business consultant. I think that basically speaks for me. Then from a personal perspective, I like to say I'm a father, a husband, and a brother. So that's about me.
Beautiful.
That's about me, yeah.
What was growing up like for you?
Wow. I think this is one of the first shows that people have actually asked this question. Now, people have a lot of wild read of perspective about me. People just think that the growing up is so beautiful. People say Richard and all that. I spoke one time in Lagos, and after I shared my story, one woman started crying. Yeah, she started crying because she said she didn't believe the person she saw rather on the stage training and doing all this stuff had to encounter those kind of stories growing up.
Interesting.
So it was quite. It was quite, how do I say that now? It was on a contrasting perspective here and here, so she couldn't match the both of them. Growing up for me was very tough. Yeah. Growing up for me was very tough. My parents were in the kind of bread and butter family. No, it wasn't. Well, I think I went to one of the best schools in Port Harcourt. Yeah.
You grew up in Port Harcourt?
Yes, I grew up in Port Harcourt.
Oh, wow. What area?
Poor Port Harcourt boy. I grew up in Dube. Yes, I grew up in Dube. But then I went to somehow the good schools in Port Harcourt at the time. Yeah, I don't know whether you know Burial.
Yeah.
Burial Conference. Yeah, I went to Burial Nursery and Primary School. So I went to nursery school. Actual nursery school. Yeah. I went to a nursery school. I went to, Burial Primary School for some time because they were trying to set it up at the time. So we left and now went to Orominike Primary School. And I went to Orominike Primary School. Yeah, so from there, I was a very bright kid, very, very bright kid, very brilliant kid. So I know one time my teacher told my mother that this school wasn't suited for me. She just said, your son no supposed to do this school or carry on come out. Because I was always topping the class. Every time I was the first guy, first. Nothing was, even though I don't read, I don't know, I'll just come first. So the thing was like, take this guy out of this system. And that's why I found myself in Nigerian Navy Primary School.
Oh.
Yeah, so I finished from Nigerian Navy. From Nigerian Navy, I went to Bishop Crowder Memorial Secondary School. So I graduated as the deputy senior prefect. Yeah, so before from there, I went to Futu. So growing up for me was very tough from a family that wasn't that's having.
Are you the first child?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I'm not the first child. I have an elder sister. I'm the first boy. Yeah, I'm the first boy in the family of 7. But we lost one of our brothers.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how we grew up. But of course, it was fun. So let's not say it on a sad note. But it was fun. Growing up in a family that actually loves you. One of the most important things I think I took up growing up was the principle of contentment. We're highly contented, even from the lack we had. We're very, very contented. And that sort of is helping me to be. I'm not the kind of person that sees what you have and envies now. It doesn't enter my eye. My mother always tell me, what you don't get, maybe you get that in your entire eye. So it was the foundation of which I was built. But it was okay, it was cool.
You grew up in the trenches.
Yeah, as we say today, we grew up in the trenches. So you see the disparity where I am now and the trenches and like, so if you're on Port Harcourt, you know Dube now. I grew up in Dube, where gunshots were like doorbells. I grew up in Dube.
You have to be strong.
If you know, you have to. Of course, you have to adapt anywhere. I tell people that if you grew up, and I think that's one of the blessings for me.
Okay.
I can live anywhere. I can live anywhere. The slums, the good, the bad. I've seen everything. So it wasn't like. So it's not like. I don't think I can. I never see that situation when I know people. So I can face everything. Okay, now I'll give you a simple example. There was this day my wife and I were traveling and the car got bad. So she was like, how do we do this thing? How do I say, this is small thing now, but I can't do it. You know? So we had to push the car, but God help us. One of the places that was close to the place was my former organization, so we parked the car there. So for her, she was like, she didn't believe the Richard was going to do this thing. But you know, I was made from the cement. I wasn't made from the bread. I was made from the cement, so I was stuffing from small. So growing up was hard, but growing up was fun. Yeah. So
you did all those things. You went to Futo.
Yeah, I went to
What
Futo.
did you study in school?
That's the thing. I'm naturally an engineer. I studied engineering. Yeah, materials metallurgical engineering.
You know why I'm laughing? I'm laughing because I studied civil engineering in school. I'm sure you don't.
Oh, really? But why do you always do this thing?
American Novice was on this show. American Novice studied mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Funny enough,
I did civil engineering.
Wow, really?
And yeah, you're from an engineering background.
Yes.
What do you do right now?
But you know the funny thing? The funny thing is, my time when I was attending in Nigerian Institute of Management, Port Harcourt, one of the bosses, one of the biggest guys there was my mentor, Mr. Harcourt Rukocha. He told me something. He said, do you know why you're doing what you're doing and you're doing it exceptionally well? Was because you came from an engineering background. So it has defied all odds for you. It has helped you learn how to think structurally. And I think that's the truth because I think in structures. Everything has to be in sets, like this. And I'm not a haphazard thinker. So everything has to be sequential, structured. And it has really helped me in my business too. Business structure, trainings, organizational development, and strategies. So it has to be like this. It has to be like this. When we want to draw the org charts, the hierarchies, the flows, you have to understand that this has to go like this. This has to be like this. So it was easy for me, I think, because of that engineering background. I'm thinking, I think.
Maybe now I have a good excuse for why I'm doing marketing.
Yeah, I think so.
When did this whole entrepreneurial thing start though? Did you do any business in school or were you just the serious type of student?
That's the thing. Growing up, I said now, my father has a shop in Mile 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I could say, looking back now, say that my father sort of built that entrepreneurial foundation.
Nice. What was he selling?
Yeah, he sold a lot of things. I grew up seeing my father sell wrapper for women. So we always go to his shop to help him. I mean, me, I go to his shop. First son, I have to go. Then there was this period that things were so bad that I had to sell pure water. No pure water.
You hawked pure water.
Yeah. But it wasn't the pure water that like we know.
That's one with inside waterproof all the time.
Yes. I sold it. Yeah. So I was like the person that fended for the family at the time because a lot of things were down. So I was the person that sold the water. We don't call it pure water now. Then we call it pure water now, but then we called it ice water. Yes, ice water. So I sold ice water. I sold paper bag. You know this plastic nylon? Yeah, I sold it. I sold it in my Altri market, in evening market. So I sold evening market.
How's life like selling the nylon?
That's the thing. So a lot of you see these things, and maybe thank God I passed through those things. I passed through those stages because they sort of fortified me. You know, you wake up in the morning after going to school, after coming back from school, you know that you have to go to the market to sell, right?
Do you buy the nylons yourself?
Yes, we bought the nylon myself. We have this place we go to carry. We carry in dozens.
Yeah.
So, or sometimes we don't have enough money. We go deposit some. They give us the pack, and we make sure we sell it every day. It was quite interesting because I know I always finish my own. I don't know how, but I know that I have a knack for meeting people that want to buy plenty, right? So the catch then was not selling just one. The catch then was selling like in dozens. So you just look and meet one, maybe you see one woman that is finely dressed with a good car, you know that she won't buy one, right? So she comes and say, okay, give me the dozen because she's buying a lot of things. And then our catchment period, our biggest sales period was the end of the month because all these people come to the shop. Yes, they come to shop. They shop in bulk. So one woman can buy like 2 dozens of that stripe, black and white, yellow. So it was our main deal. So I have a knack of fishing out those kind of people, right? So it was the main thing for me. So when after sometimes the guy has to say, guy, you just sell your own finish. So he gives me plenty. So he was my incentive, even if I don't have money. So, you have to go to a period where you always have the money to buy. So that was like my breakthrough period. So, after those things, I had to start bringing those things back in my business now.
How profitable was the nylon business?
It was at the time. Well, in my level, it was profitable because I think that nylon business sort of helped me take money back to the family. Yeah.
How old were you at that time?
That was like when I was 15, 16 and all that. Yeah. So from 15, I've been exposed to grinding. Yeah, you have to really grind to eat. I didn't come from like I said, I didn't come from the family that you have to sit down and you're all provided for. It was fine growing up small at that 3, 4, 5 and all that. It was cool. My dad was, it was the okay thing. But this kind of, most of our parents did not understand financial management. Yeah. So it was that thing that took a toll on the family. And everything came crashing down. But we picked up somehow, went to school, and by the grace of God, I'm here.
Did you practice engineering at any point?
Yeah, I did. At least I remember when I did my first IT in Dana Lake. I don't know whether you know Dana Lake in Transamadi. It's an engineering company, electrical engineering company. That was my IT. Yeah. After that, I graduated and did I? No, I didn't go into any engineering firm after that.
Did you practice after graduation?
Did I? Looking back now, let me think. No, I didn't practice.
You just went straight for the grind?
No. The thing is, I didn't practice engineering, but I worked.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked. It wasn't like after graduation, I just went into my... No, I worked. I worked as market monitor. I think that was what dragged me into the world of consulting. Yeah, when I graduated, when I left Abuja, from Kano, Abuja, Port Harcourt. So I'm like...
How did Kano, Abuja, Port Harcourt come here right now? You did photo.
Yeah. The photo thing, after graduation, of course, you go to serve. I served in the north. I served in Kano. So after Kano, I came down to Abuja. I know now, every young man, they were thinking that Abuja was the thing at the time. So I came down, after serving from Kano, dropped down to Abuja. Dropped down to Abuja for a while. It wasn't that working because the kind of things I saw at the time weren't things that my feet or rather my background was consistent, so I had to come back to Port Harcourt. Yeah, then I got a job as a market monitor in the world of consulting. Yeah, so it showed me a lot of things about the consulting practices. From there, I went into another organization as a consultant, as a junior consultant. Yeah, before I went into business development fully in an oil and gas company. Wow. So that was my trajectory. Yeah, so I think my journeys actually showed me that consulting was my thing. Because my boss there will tell you that this job is about your head and your heart.
Now, help us understand on this show, because a lot of people just throw the word consulting everywhere. I do consulting.
Yeah.
What do consultants do?
Yeah, when we say consultants solve problems. Basically, I think that's the smallest word. That's the easiest way I could put it. Consultants solve problems. So you have consultants from different levels: business consultants, marriage, relationship consultants, medical, how do you call it? Medical doctors are still consultants and all that. So consultants basically solve problems with their heads. As my boss would say them, he said, we solve problems with our heads and sometimes with our hearts and not our hands. So we solve problems with our heads. You have to be highly skilled. It's not something you just jump in and want to, you're a consultant. You be tested. And of course, if your ideas are not proven or not bringing results, you're not a consultant. Because every day, every morning you wake up, you're looking at refining ideas. You have to question yourself to make sure you come up with ideas that can actually solve problems. Proven problems. Proven problems. This is where it cuts it out for consultants. If you're not a consultant that solves problems, I don't know what to do. So that's the word. So my job as a business consultant is solving problems for businesses. But I don't like to use the word business. I like to use the word organization. Yeah, so that's where I come in. So Richard and Malcolm Consulting was founded to solve problems for organization.
How did the idea for Richard and Malcolm?
Yes, I know I was going there.
How did it come about?
When I was a business development manager in an oil and gas company, I realized that a lot of people do not know what it takes to set up businesses.
Okay.
People just want to set up businesses because their friend is doing the business, or say this friend is selling a phone, and this man wakes up in the morning and says, because Joe is selling phone and making it, let me go and sell phone. Now we have people as vendors that come into the organization. Of course, it's my role to interface with vendors. So you ask this vendor, do you have this compliance, this document? I don't have it though. Do you have this? Do you have what it takes to run? Sometimes you just talk to them, you realize that these people lack the basic skill. When I mean basic, okay, let me give you a simple example. One man is running an oil and gas company and does not understand that he has to have what we call a simple organizational chart. And this man is coming to bid for a job as a vendor. And you're like, how? Where's your org chart? This man says, we don't have, forget about that. Do you have something that shows me how people work in your organization, right? Like, Joe is a business development manager in your organization. What are his roles? He doesn't have. So he doesn't have compliance documentation. He doesn't even have, the only thing he wants to have is a DPRO certification. I think that everything rises and falls on the DPR. Some people do not even have organizational profiles, something that speaks for them. So I now said, whether you like it or not, we live in an illiterate society. And a lot of people thrive on that thing. So I said, okay, there has to be something that we're doing for these people. And again, you realize that they don't even have what we call a training plan. Every organization that wants to deal in an oil and gas must have what we call a training plan, right? So you have a training plan that tells us how far you train your people. And people don't have it because it's a consistency. You must train your people in core aspects of the job, but people don't have it. Sometimes you go and collect one guy's CV and lie and say this guy is working here, but this guy is not even working there, right? And if you use it to pad up their document and submit, it was a problem. It was a real problem. So we started, sometimes when they come, I'll now tell them, see, for you to do this, this is how it's going to happen. Because I was the person talking to people like Total, Shell, I was a business development guy. So I see what happens there. I sort of bring it down to talk to these other people as our vendors. I say, okay, if you want to do this, say how you do it. Okay, thank you. Sometimes I have to develop profiles for them. So I now realized that this is a market.
Yeah.
This is a market. So I started from there in 20, I think it was in 2014. I started thinking, okay, if I live here, what would I do? What would I do?
Are you married then?
I wasn't. As a young man, I was just thinking, what would I do? Because my biggest priority at the time, I keep saying, it was to make an impact. But then the question was, what kind of impact, right? So I now said, okay, I was going to be in business development. Of course, I was a business development guy here. I've gone to meetings, I sit in meetings, I train, I talk, I do a lot of those things. And I realized that these things come natural to me. In fact, some people just look at me and say, this guy, you're fit for business development. These things are just in your head. And then in school, one of my biggest courses that I loved was business and management. I loved it. I don't have to read that course now. I just passed the course. So I look back and I realized that it's something I can do. So in 2017, I left. So Richard and Malcolm came as a result of me, and my son's name is Malcolm. My son is not here. So I just knew that whenever he comes, his name is Malcolm. So the Richard and Malcolm, my son. Yeah, so that's how Richard and Malcolm.
Because I was going to ask, who the hell is Malcolm?
Yeah, Malcolm is my son, my unborn son.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how was it like starting the company? I mean, you quit your job, and then you went ahead to start with Richard and Malcolm.
Yes.
How was your foundation days like?
Yeah, it was it rosy? Nothing new starts rosy now. Nothing. But the catch was that one of the biggest things I did for my organization there was tender. I don't know whether you know tender management, handle bids and tenders. In the oil and gas is very it's common. So you do bids. So I'm the person that sort of I package a lot of the bids, the tenders, documentation, everything. It was just something that was here. So when I left, I realized that most people don't have those kind of things working for them. So I just said, okay, let's start from here. I tell them, pay me so and so thing, I'll arrange it for you. So it was always coming.
How did you get your first customer?
It was easy, too easy. In fact, my customer found me. Yes, because, Richard, you've left. Wow, really? Please, I need this. Come and do it for me. So I was always busy. Right? So even though it wasn't that structured, we were doing a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things. So we do here, we get it, to package it and send. Now, it got to the point where that organization I left called me to come and handle that for them.
Oh, wow.
So we now said, we don't handle it as an individual, we do it as an organization. Yeah, so that's why the focus is really to organization. So you can see where we came from. So most of what we teach has to fall in line with what global standards in business, not a Nigerian standard. Sometimes in business, people do Nigerian template and global templates.
Yeah.
So we always follow the global template because I came from the oil and gas sector. And now, in business, the oil and gas sector in Nigeria is one of the most thriving parts. So you must do it well. We don't have short corners there. You must do it because our company then was servicing people like Total, Mobil, Shell, and Seplat and all that. So you can't do rubbish there. You can't do rubbish there. So I was the person too that was in charge. That have to go to these meetings, talk to these guys and all. So that's actually how we started. Yeah.
Two questions. The Richard and Malcolm.
Yeah.
Is it the first business you've done? Okay. Have you done any other business aside Richard and Malcolm?
I've done a lot of business, but this is the business that I've just chosen to stay on. When I was in university, I was the go-to guy. Want to do your passport? Come meet Richard. I made my first 1 million when I was in university.
What did you do to make your first 1 million?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was the go-to guy. People say, Richard, I want passport too. I don't know how to do it. Richard is the person that gets you the passport. Right? Even though it was quite unstructured. Now, Richard, I want... I don't know. I just solve problem. The money I know how I have this knack for professional things. I could say, you could be saying something now, and I say I can help you get that stuff. When I came in here, the person I asked was, how much is this building? So I'm this kind of person that I find out those kind of opportunities. So I can be talking to somebody here, and I say, I saw a building in the Elekaya estate. It's going for 50 million naira. Right? So I can just find my way around that. So in university, I did a lot of things. But coming out of university, I did other businesses, small by the side. But Richard and Malcolm is my first structured business. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you failed any business before?
I've failed in Richard and Malcolm because other ones I know, I wouldn't say they are businesses. Yeah, that's why my profile, I don't like putting those things because I don't think they are businesses. They're just things as a young man, you're trying to do something, you're trying to hold something, project or whatever. So it wasn't like businesses, but Richard and Malcolm, sometimes you don't even have 1 naira. And people think you have the whole money. Sometimes people tell you, just fly to Lagos and come and do this, and you don't even.
I'll use my rings and fly.
Sometimes people just call and say, please. I've gotten an invitation to come to Ghana to come and do. I don't even have transport to go from Port Harcourt to where. No, so we failed. But something I always tell myself is, for me, failure is a redirection. Yeah, and I didn't fail. The project failed. So Richard and Malcolm have carried out project that failed. So Richard and Malcolm has not failed, right? So that's how I see these things. Because as a business person, you must anticipate those things. I mean, they're natural. Which businessman has not failed before? He failed. There are times where we don't even have any money to do anything, and there are times when we have plenty money to do everything. Yeah.
How do you handle the tough times and challenges?
I'm built for the tough times. Naturally, I'm built for the tough times. I'm not the kind of person that is built for only the soft now. I'm built for the tough. I've seen a lot of things in business. I've seen a business grow from $250 million to rubbish in Nigeria.
Crazy.
Yeah. I've seen a business when one of our clients, Richard and Malcolm, that came after collecting his, what's it called now? After the company paid him off. I think they paid him off 250 million naira. He gave his wife 65 million naira for us to start a business for the wife. And I told him that your wife does not have the elements of a business person.
Welcome to Kaizen Digital Academy, your one-stop African platform for online education. At Kaizen, we are built for the African market, teaching people how to make money online using high-income digital skills. Do you want to learn and implement faster? Do you want to increase your earning capacity and gain digital skills? Then visit kaizenacademy.co, create an account with us today, and voila! You are on your way to making your dreams come through with Kaizen, the African School of Digital Skills.
Don't do this business for her. But he was like, if I don't do this business for her, she's going to stress me and all that. I understood where he was coming from. That 65 million naira died in 6 months.
That's a lot. 65 million is a lot.
At the time. Not even now.
If it starts with like 10 first.
That's the thing. That's the thing. When I said it earlier, people just want to do business because their friends are doing business. And for me, that's the wrongest approach. So the business didn't survive 6 months. The business died. So I've seen a lot in business to realize that the business world is a hurricane. If you're not careful, it sinks you. But then what keeps you going is your mentality, of course. If you know that you're built to stay, you're built to stay. Just like built to last the book. So I know that I'm built to stay. Instead of sinking, we're going to grow from lips to lips.
Beautiful. Now this segment is another amazing segment. This is the get to know me better segment.
Yes,
so I'm going to be throwing some certain questions away. All right, so the first question here is, what's your best food?
My best food? My best food. I think my best food is gari and okra soup. Okra particularly. Okra. But not just common okra. The
like
time my wife,
seafood okra.
The time my wife
with plenty bust up.
Okra soup.
Yeah. And what's your favorite color?
And that's where my wife and I have problems. My wife will tell me my favorite color is brown, but I tell her that my favorite color is black. So I think black and brown, because both of them signifies power. I like power. Yeah, so anything that draws power is me.
The best Afrobeat artist?
Oh, yeah, Afrobeat artist. I think these days I'm vibing more to Davido. Yeah, I think I'm vibing because I like the rhythm of his song. I like his flow. I like his flow. I think Davido does it.
We're all 30 BG in this place. Okay, who's your GOAT? Ronaldo or Messi?
Please, I don't like Messi for anything. Ronaldo every day. For me, Ronaldo signifies what I call hard work. For me, because of where we came up from and where Richard and Malcolm is coming or going to. So Ronaldo stands up. I mean, Ronaldo typifies where Richard and Malcolm wants to go to, not Messi.
Indoors or outdoors?
Indoor, always indoor.
And what's your favorite quotes?
There's this quote I saw, and the first I saw that, it blew my mind. It was by Mercedes Benz, and I think that's their slogan: the best or nothing.
The best or nothing.
So for me, that's to the test of time: the best or nothing.
When it comes to your industry, who and who do you look up to?
Oh, okay. See, let me tell you the truth. I can never be me without quoting Fela Duritoye. Never. I would never be me. I would never be Richard.
Fela Duritoye is an OG in the game.
I would never. Fela Duritoye number one, and number two is Leke Alda. Uncle Leke is an amazing person. Uncle Leke and Leke Alda. Sorry, Uncle Leke and Fela Duritoye. Yes. Fela Duritoye number one every day.
Alright, so Fela Duritoye, Uncle Fela Duritoye.
Yes.
Big ups to you.
Yes,
thank you very much for impacting our boss.
Yes. Every day. Sir Fela, thank you. Thank you for what you did with us in Gemstone. Thank you. Because without Fela, I don't think I would have. Yeah.
What did he teach you though?
Everything. You know, people see Fela from the outside. I've stayed with him, I've talked to him, I've shook him, we've talked. He has shown me, Richard, see how we do it. I was one of the person that was heading Gemstone in Port Harcourt at the time in 2015, 2014 and all that. So I was the president in Gemstone in Port Harcourt. So that period defined me, when it comes to people management. So Fela gave me the opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
If you're not doing consulting today, what else would you have enjoyed?
If I was not doing consulting, I would have been a banker. But I ran away from them. I think I would have still... I didn't mention that, then immediately after school, I think I got a stint in one of the banks in Nigeria, but I didn't stay because of personal story, but I didn't just stay. But I think if I had stayed, probably I would have been there by now.
I grew
through the ranks. True. Yes. I think I would have just been a banker. Yes.
So since you started Richard and Malcolm, what would you say has been your biggest win?
Whoa, we've got a couple of biggest wins. So, I think one of my biggest win was when we designed the banking branding process for a new bank in Nigeria. I don't want to mention the names. I think that was the biggest win for us. It's a microfinance bank anyway. It was one of our biggest wins, and it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things. I think that was one of our biggest.
How much did you get out of it?
How do they call it? 7 figures, right?
Money wise.
It was in 7 figures. Then another one was when we went into one of the oil and gas companies to train them. It was big. It was big. So training those guys and the microfinance bank was something too that shaped us. Those are the big things for us.
In this journey so far, the whole entrepreneurial journey, what would you say are the top 3 lessons you've learned in your years of doing business?
Relationship number 1, value people. I always have a quote that I say, people are people because of people. So for me, relationship is everything. I think that's what I'm passionate about, customer service, because it's about relationship and of course HR. People are people because of people. Then number 2, you must be highly perceptive. You must be very perceptive. Because you realize that in consulting, a lot of people depend on what you say. Last night I sat down, we had a meeting with some people that wanted to collect a loan of 500 million. And they were asking what you do with the money. So we sat down and had a meeting for over 3 hours. And when we finished from that session, they were like, we don't know anything. right? So for me, every word counts because people depend on you. Imagine if I don't have sense and I tell them, put your 500 million into this business and the money dies within 6 months. You think imagine what would have happened?
Your work has finished.
Exactly. So you have to be highly perceptive. Number 1 is relationship. Number 2 is that you have to be highly perceptive. Number 3 is that you have to be highly resourceful. You have to be highly resourceful because, of course, that resourcefulness is what brings people to you.
Move to Lagos and why did you decide to stay here?
This question has come plenty times. So when I go to Lagos to do a lot of things, people ask me, why don't you move to Lagos? But that same thing that brought me from Abuja to Port Harcourt then is still keeping me here. Now, maybe because my parents are still here, that's a maybe. But also I look at it from the perspective of the fact that everybody must not be in Lagos. Everybody must not be in Lagos. In fact, Port Harcourt is now doing so well. So my friend then told me to stay in Port Harcourt so that when you guys become the pioneers in Port Harcourt and thrive in Port Harcourt, the reference points are going to be you guys in Port Harcourt. So we have people like you right now doing amazingly well. We have a lot of young people coming up in the industry. So Port Harcourt is still going to be that next point after Lagos. Or sometimes Port Harcourt, the wave is just going to be the worst Port Harcourt. Not even Port Harcourt, River State. Come to River State, they're amazing guys. Yeah. So I just think that the government have to understand that we need that help. So that we can be on that place where Lagos is still called. But we're doing amazing. I'm not sure I'm leaving Port Harcourt. If I'm leaving Port Harcourt, I should be in London.
Makes
not
sense.
Lagos.
Makes sense. Yeah. Let's talk about money management for a bit.
Yes.
One of the things that kills entrepreneurs is make money. And then
we've been there. I've been there.
And all that.
I've been there.
So, were there instances where you made money and you couldn't account for the money anymore?
You see, I think it was early this year that we got, I think somebody just paid us some money, not much, but I think it was like 2 million or so.
Okay.
I can't tell you till today, I can't tell you how I used that money. Yes. As I'm sitting here, I can't even tell you how that money left. We don't know. So you see, Richard is still struggling when it comes to money management. I'm still struggling. Yes. But you see, now I'll go back to something. Many of us are struggling because we didn't have the foundation. Many of us are struggling because we didn't have that foundation. We had a foundation of making money, spending the money, making money, spending the money, because we lived on the survival perspective or the mentality at the time. So you have money, you have to use the money you made to eat. So there were no savings culture because we couldn't save. We didn't have things like we have to save the money. So it's basically our problem. So it's affecting me. But I think that if many of us, like I've done, go back to the drawing board. And for me, NLP helps me too. Yeah, NLP helps me a lot. Like
NLP, please just help us understand neuro-linguistic because
NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. So we sort of reprogrammed my mindset. Yeah. So money management is very crucial to business people because without it, you sink yourself. The money is not coming every day.
So right now, how do you manage and invest and save and all that?
I think I'm a bit lucky because I have a chartered accountant as a wife. So
big ups to your wife.
Yeah. My wife is amazing for me from that perspective. So my wife is a person that has these ideas of, okay, let's put money here. She's a person that has ideas about the whole financial markets and money markets and the instruments. So she's a person that tells you, why do we have to buy a house?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Entrepreneurs Connect show. My name is Clara Onyekachi and today I want to introduce you to the Viewer of the Week challenge. Now what's this challenge about? We want you, our viewer, to watch every episode of the Entrepreneurs Connect show, take a picture of yourself watching the show and make a post on Instagram tagging us at the Entrepreneurs Connect show. At the end of the week, we will of course decide who our Viewer of the Week is and this viewer gets a gift from us. Excited, right? Now, do you want to be the Viewer of the Week? Who would be the Viewer of the Week? Let's find out when you join the challenge.
Why do I have to buy a house? Why don't I lease for 10 years and use the money to do this and do that? And when the money rotates and comes back through round tripping, you can now do some other thing. So she's a person that sort of tells you all those beautiful things. And my wife has been a big instrument when it comes to financial management to me. Yeah. And to the organization too. Because through the back end, she handles all the finances. Yes. So she's a what do we call her? She's a overall accountant.
She's your CFO.
Yes, that's the word. Chief Financial Officer. Yes. yes.
I get it. Beautiful. This session has been like super amazing. Do you invest in real estate though? By the way, I always chip in this question.
Yes, real estate. We have a client. I sit in the board of one of the real estate companies in Nigeria. So you don't think I should not invest in real estate? Yeah, real estate is of course, the conversation we had yesterday, one of the pointers I give to those my clients was rather real estate. Because, of course, this is where, looking at Nigeria's economy today, that's one of the progressive places or progressive industries for investment. Yeah, whether or not you want to use it, you know that if I have this, I can decide to play with it and do a lot of things with it. So it is one industry that will keep progressing. We have a funny economy. I don't want to say we have a poor economy. I think it's just a funny economy. So you have to be careful with your money. So real estate is one place that you can always go to. But when it comes to real estate, I believe in the principle of BBS. BBS simply means buy, build, and sell. Right? So I don't want to tie my 100 million in one house, in a land that I'll come and be begging people to come and buy. I'd rather use that money, that 100 million, or I buy a house of buy a land of 20 million naira somewhere, build the house and sell.
So you prefer to not just buy there's a land banking part.
Yes, I don't want to do that because somehow I don't like to time money. That's the thing. I like my money to work for me because I just call it round tripping. So I have the money, build this house. It is easy for me to sell this house now to some other person. Right? So I flip it and make 5% or 10% of my capital into it and I flip it again. So if I keep flipping that 100 million naira in 1 year,
makes sense.
Yes. So I don't do the land banking thing and keep my money for years, which is also a good thing. But I don't think I have that patience for that. Some people are very patient for that. To wait for 3 years for the but I don't think Richard has that kind of patience. Because for me in business, you realize that cash is king. I need to have cash to do a lot of things. Somebody I know bought a Range Rover Velar, 17 million naira in the market price for 7 million naira because he has cash. Cash is king.
I get it.
Cash is king. So that money he bought the car for 7 million naira. He's telling me now that somebody is pricing that car for 13 million. Because the market price is 17, 18, 19 million. So somebody is pricing for 13 million. So I believe that cash is king. I've seen where somebody sold a house of 100 million for 40 million. Cash is king.
And the person that had cash at that time.
Cash is king at the time. Do you have the money now? So I've seen someone that sold a Cartier watch. You know what? We used to have a Cartier watch, an original Cartier watch, crested Cartier watch. Somebody bought it for $100. Cash is king. Because the person I have the money now. Do you want? Give me. So I believe that cash is king. I don't want to be in a position where I don't have anything at all. So cash is king.
I get it. I mean, this session has been totally amazing. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, always.
One last word for the people watching just before we go away.
Okay, for the entrepreneurs watching here, I always tell you this, what I've said, and what I tell young people too that want to start up businesses. Start up a business to satisfy the customer's need and not your greed. Start up a business to satisfy your customer's need, not your greed.
Beautiful. We still have like 1 minute. Tell us how can you help the people that are watching? People are watching or they want to learn from Richard.
They should call Richard now. Come to call Richard. That's my job. I'm a problem solver. So can I drop my number for them? 081-8336-7727. And you can follow me on social media, Richard Chile, Chilee, not one E, double E.
Do you have like resources also that?
Yes. I have my book, The Happy Customer, and the one we wrote for employees, becoming the most valuable employee. Becoming the most valuable employee. That's for employees, and the happy customer is for business people like you. Yeah.
Beautiful. So the links to his profile will be below the link of this video. I'll be in the description. How do you call it? YouTube people. It will be in the description. All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Guys, thank you for sticking around. I'll see you in another episode of the Entrepreneurs Connect Show. Take care of yourself and bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.